Arthur Summons, you were captain coach on the 1963 Kangaroos tour. Tell us a few. There must be a lot of stories from that tour.
Yes, I'd probably keep you here for half a week, really, with all the stories. They were a great bunch of fellas, though, and I had the great honour and privilege of being put in as captain coach. I wouldn't recommend it, of course, and they have a coach now and other things that go with it, and they're fully professional, of course, which we weren't. But I was just fortunate enough to be selected as the captain of the side and the coach, and it was a wonderful honour, and they were a great bunch of fellas in as much that a lot of them had gone before in 58, so they knew the ropes over there, and their experience, I think, was the backbone of this great side in 1963.
Fair achievement. You went over, you played over 30 games for the Kangaroos, and you won the Ashes for the first time. It's a fair side you had.
Yeah, it was a great side, and three immortals were in that side, Raper, Gasnier and Langlands, and just proved how great they were, and the boys around them, of course, I felt could also have been immortals, because in my book they were the greatest side ever to go away. It was a tough tour, and it was 36 games. I think we won 27 and drew one or two, and then the rest we lost, but we won the Ashes in the first two tests because we weren't going to be allowed to win the third, and then we got beaten in France, unfortunately, in the first test, so we won the next two, which completed the whole tour, because had we got beaten in France, it would have been a devastating loss over there.
Talk about the pride in the jumper. Obviously, the players today with the crest on their hearts. Talk about the pride in that Kangaroos jumper that you felt wearing it and captaining that side.
Well, as captain coach, I felt that was the thing that I needed to stimulate and bring to the fore, because to play for your country is one thing, but to go on a tour with a bunch of blokes, that's the pinnacle of your sporting life. And I suppose we all dream and think as young kids that we'd like to play for our country, but never think it would come to fruition. And in this particular case it did, and of course we were very, very successful. So I'm just elated that the Rugby League have seen fit to honour us in this way, and to farewell the Kangaroos like that, I think is a wonderful mark of respect to that side. And I, as captain coach, are delighted that David Smith and John Grant have seen fit to do all this.
And I guess a lot has changed in that 50 years since 1963. The game certainly changed a lot, but the players putting on that jumper, that's still the pride they feel in that jumper has come through the generations, hasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think that ever changes. I think to have the emblem of the Australian emblem on your pocket just makes you grow 10 feet, and certainly the league's changed and the game has changed. We played under an unlimited tackle in those days, whereas now it's 6 tackles and they set the sides up. But I think the kids of today are phenomenal players, and they're athletic, they're faster, they're bigger, they're stronger, and better looking by the looks of things today. But that's a bit of I'd say that some of my boys that I took away would object to that, because they all thought they were models over there. So anyway, we enjoyed the tour. It was a great experience.
What do you make of this Kangaroo squad and Cam Smith, who's leading them as captain?
Well, I think he's a fine young man, and I think all of them are fine young men. I don't think there's one larrikin amongst them. They'll probably bring out the larrikinism as they get over there, and their personalities will come out. But I don't think any one of them won't get on well together, because they're a humble group of blokes, and I think that they've got to realise that there's something that has happened to them, and they've been given gifts of ability and strength and size and speed and toughness that is God-given. And I think that as long as they are humble enough to realise and perform at their best every time they go on.
And I guess finally, not many players get to pull on the Australian jumper. It's a pretty prestigious group of players who get to do it, and especially in a World Cup. What would be your sort of final message to those guys as they head away to England to compete for 7 weeks?
Well, I'd wish them all the very best. I think the things that do cripple you in a tour like that is if you have a lot of mass injuries, and the injury toll can be devastating and can cause the whole situation to be destroyed. But I think the way they handle the fitness and the recovery periods nowadays, they're all experts and they've got them with them, as we didn't have. We didn't even have a strapper when we were over there, but they will do very well, and I just wish them all the best.